Hey, what is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and we're coming back with another video. Look, so y'all already know what's going on. All right, y'all. Now, since we did that last video where we kind of talked about a bunch of things, we talked about Kodak, we talked about Kodak being a clone, we talked about witchcraft, we talked about addictions. It was a pretty good video. Very good responses from all of y'all. I honestly didn't think, that video would get like that much engagement, that much response, but it just goes to show that every time we do those kind of topics and we really go in on what's important, I feel like y'all come out even more for those kind of videos. For me, it just reassures that y'all are actually focused on like the real shit in your life and really appreciate that kind of stuff. Those kind of talks, damn near more than the entertainment kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like I always say, these people ain't in our lives. Like Kodak, we finna go in a little bit more on Kodak. These folks ain't in our lives. You know what I'm saying? These industry folks, they ain't got nothing to do with us. We just sitting here picking apart what we think be happening, what we think be going on, and this whole, clone agenda. And is it even possible that some of these people are cloned? And y'all know me, I fully believe in it. I guess it kind of boils down to how you believe some people are cloned. Me, I believe people have full out body doubles, people who look exactly like them, and with a little bit of cosmetics and whatever, people, they're sent out looking exactly like the character, the rapper, or whoever you want to call it. Because it goes back to my Pac video. I always bring it up. There was two Pacs. You know what I'm saying? Like, catch that wordplay. There were two Pacs, literally. And I showed y'all that. And I could throw the picture back up here for the people that's never seen it. Literally, there are two Tupacs. They look so much alike. You would never be able to tell which one was the real Pac. Now, I did a video on it. I thought it was a pretty good video. It was a while back when I first started editing videos. But I think I did a pretty good job on it, showing that there were possibly two Tupacs the night that he died that was at, the arena, so on and so on. But there were legit two of them. It might have been three. And we know a lot of presidents have body doubles. I do believe Kevin Hart has a body double as well. He's even said it. He said that he has a clone. And, y'all know when he was on ESPN, I can't show that clip on here because it'll get copyrighted immediately and get this video flagged. But Kevin Hart said that the reason he's all over the place and like in the prime of his career, he's just going crazy, is because there's two of them. And this was the accident that, stirred the whole thing with Kevin Hart possibly being dead and gone, because y'all remember Kevin Hart said that the other him died in this accident. Now, a lot of people took it to that, he was talking about he was like, reborn a new man and he had better responsibilities, because supposedly Kevin Hart was like, sort of an alcoholic. And, the reason why people were saying his wife was so nonchalant in the phone call when he just somehow made it to the house. I guess he was pulled out the car by security, as the story goes. And, the whole thing about how was he able to do that with a broken back, so on and so on, that he wasn't supposed to have been able to do the shit that he did after getting into this accident. And his wife, she did sound weird on that 911 call, but it's just that Hollywood stuff at the end of the day. But Kevin Hart said his other self died in this accident. So I guess you could take that for however you want to take it, but knowing how Hollywood is, they tell us the truth in plain sight. And like I said, he already said he had a clone. So it's like, what are you going to believe here? You just will continue to try to ignore that this stuff actually goes on? It's like, yeah, this was a couple of years ago, but still, this stuff is still going on, and we never really know who we are looking at. And I fully believe that. They have a body double who looks just like him. Like I said, I think all presidents have a body double. Mike Tyson had a body double. Just trying to think of like random people off the top of my head. If we want to talk about clones or other body doubles, we know Gucci got a body double. The real Gucci might be dead and gone, and that just might be the replacement. Kind of the same with Dave Chappelle. He was skinny, came back from Africa and all that other stuff that he had going on. Motherfucker was swole out of nowhere. It's like, how does somebody that skinny become that swole, gain that much weight. A lot of people think, you know, he's also a clone and dead and gone. You know, even Martin. A lot of people think Martin is a clone. And I kind of want to get into a little bit of that in this video as well with Kodak, just to kind of cover the spectrum a little bit. I know it'll be Kodak and Martin ain't got nothing to do with each other, but this is mostly about clone stuff, you know, and whether or not we might believe that some of these people are a clone, because, you know, you can make a case for it with Martin. You could definitely make a case for it with Dave Chappelle, because Dave Chappelle came back looking just crazy different. We still have yet to see Jamie Foxx. Anybody seen Jamie Foxx since all that stuff happened? I don't think any of us seen Jamie Foxx or even know what the hell is going on with Jamie Foxx. Still, there hasn't been anything. It was like random posts he'll do on his page or something like that. So we still waiting to see how that's gonna, you know, turn out. But real quick, you know, before we move on to anything else about this whole clone stuff and the industry and Clonaid, maybe we could pull up something if I could, you know, find something about Clonaid. Because somebody did say something interesting in the comments. Somebody asked me that rapper that first, like, exposed Clonaid. I don't know if he was the first one that exposed it. I forget what his name was. It was like brown-skinned dude. He lied about his age. He was really like 30-some years old. And he was saying that he was a clone, a first-generation clone. All that stuff on Vlad TV when it was going viral. And he did expose something that was real, which was Clonaid, which was a real, you know, cloning processing center or whatever you want to call it. So that when the person said that in the comments, I was like, you know, that is true. You know, he did kind of expose that, which was a real place. So it would make you think and dig deeper in the whole clone thing anyway, which we already know they've been cloning for a long time. And people just, some people can't wrap their head around it. You know, like, how do you grow a clone? How does a clone, you know, look exactly like the artist or somebody, you know, when they have to be grown and all this good stuff, you know. But in most cases, I think if it's not a direct clone of the person, I believe it's a body double. It's someone that looks exactly like that person. There are billions of people in the world, y'all, and we all look like somebody. So it's not that hard. It isn't that hard to do. And we have no idea the technology behind true cloning as well, because it hasn't been put out. So we just have no idea right now. But with that being said, also somebody said what I'm about to show y'all real quick, this clip of Kodak. Now, check this out real quick.
One hand still. Oh, still. Huh? You sound so happy? Yes, I am so happy. I'm so happy. That's good. People like to see me happy in life. Of course. Man, the real Kodak is locked up. Still. Oh, yes, you did. You did that, fam. The real Kodak is locked up still. The real Kodak is in an island. It's on an island somewhere. But I'm not finna expose nothing. Yes, I am so happy. I'm so happy. That's good. People like to see me happy in life. Of course. Man, the real Kodak is locked up. Still. Oh, yes, you did. You did that, fam. The real Kodak is locked up still. The real Kodak is in an island. It's on an island somewhere. But I'm not finna expose nothing. That's just what it is. Of course. Yes, I am so happy. I'm so happy. That's good. People like to see me happy in life. Of course. Man, the real Kodak is locked up. Still. Oh, yes, you did. You did that, fam. The real Kodak is locked up still. The real Kodak is in an island. It's on an island somewhere. But I'm not finna expose nothing.
All right, so look, when I did that Kodak video, one of my homies had sent me that clip. He was like, damn, bro, you should have put this in the video. I was like, damn, you right. If I would have been thinking about that, because I remember when Kodak put that little IG live out a long time ago, I would have put that in the last video. So I didn't really have to double back and do this, but I thought it was worth it because that IG live, you know, I guess whatever he was doing outside or something, that IG live was in 2018. And Kodak was already saying the real Kodak is in jail. The real Kodak in jail still. He on an island somewhere. And he was like, I ain't about to expose anything, but blah, blah, blah. But and remember, Kodak exposed shit about them controlling the weather in that one track. I forget what the track was called. But he did expose that in one of his songs where, you know, he was like, these people controlling the weather, so on and so on. And, you know, when an artist like Kodak get to talking about stuff like that, they finna start peeping. Like, hold on. You got too much influence of kids and people who listen to your music, millions of people. We can't have you, you know, exposing shit like that in your songs, which we all know is true. I've done multiple heart videos on weather modification. But look, Kodak said that in 2018. He said the real Kodak is still in jail, locked up somewhere. So even if you don't want to believe Kodak is telling the truth, why would he say that so randomly? Nobody asked him a question. Nobody was like, yo, what a real Kodak at? Yo, you don't look like Kodak in the live. No one said anything that had to do with the real Kodak supposedly still being in jail. Think about where his mind was. Why would he just randomly be like, oh, the real Kodak in jail? He on an island. Why would he say that? That's back in 2018, y'all. This was 5 years ago. This is not even when he just got pardoned by Trump or whoever this character is. And that's another thing to think about. How in the hell did he get pardoned by the president? A rapper? But then y'all be like, oh man, they ain't gonna clone no rapper. Why would they do all this to Kodak? Like, bro, the president pardoned whoever this man is. Whoever this character is we're looking at on the screen was pardoned by the head of this country, you know, to the public head of this country, the president, Donald Trump, pardoned a rapper. But that was in what, 2020, 2021 when he got pardoned? He made that video about him still being, the real Kodak being in jail or on an island somewhere in 2018, 2 years before that. So we had to sit here and think about, yo, something is going on. It's not just, this ain't just no bullshit, because he literally just out of nowhere said that he's not even the real Kodak. So we just gonna sit here and be like, all right, bet. Whatever, Kodak just talking shit. All right. We would be naive to sit here and think that he might be, he's not telling the truth, or something about it could be true. We would be naive, y'all. We would be naive to not think that some of that stuff is true right there. I'm trying to tell you. And just hearing that being 2 years or so before he was even pardoned by the president, because that was when he really came out and everybody was like, yo, that's not Kodak. That was 2 years before that. So think about that. And to me, we damn near don't even know who we looking at. If that was 2 years before, Kodak was already saying he's not the real Kodak. Then 2 years later, he was pardoned by Trump. And that's when everybody was like, yo, this has to be a clone. This don't even look like Kodak. Who are we even looking at? How many body doubles do they have that look just like Kodak? And where is the original copy of Kodak? Where's the original human? You see what I'm saying? I don't even know, bro. I don't even know. Remember Wiz on that? Remember Wiz when he was talking to the Breakfast Club? Wiz Khalifa said he's seen clones before, and he was dead ass serious. I can show that clip too. Wiz said, I have seen clones before, and he was dead ass serious.
Is that what we're doing right now?
You ever met a clone?
This is one.
Have I met a clone?
Yeah,
I think I met some clones before.
See,
You ever met a clone?
This is one.
Have I met a clone? Yeah, I think I met some clones before.
See?
Really?
So there's clones amongst us.
Wiz Khalifa's clone, ladies and gentlemen.
He said, yeah, I met some clones. He was dead ass, bro. He wasn't even joking. And he might have met some real deal, like synthetic clones on some shit. So I just think that's something to think about for real. Now I do I do kind of want to use this video to talk about Martin as well and the things that happened to Martin back in 1996 and his early, like, you know, supposed mental breakdown toward Hollywood and stuff. So now don't you know, bear with me. I ain't trying to be all over the place in this video, but it all relates. You know, we're talking about the same thing. So I want to jump into like an article too about Martin real quick. So check this out. All right, y'all. Now we move on to that infamous story about Martin that Dave Chappelle made everybody kind of aware of or pay attention to. You know, when he was talking about Hollywood and he was talking about how the environment of Hollywood is sick. And we all know that clip. I think might have played it once or twice on my channel. You know, I think that's one of the most viral clips that, you know, people that do what I do like to use. So I don't think I have to put that in this video. But y'all remember that clip, you know? He said, what makes a strong guy like that, like a strong guy like Martin, run into the middle of the street in Hollywood screaming, they're trying to kill me? You know, he was like, these people aren't crazy. These are strong people. He was like, maybe the environment is just a little sick. You know, and that's where we got the real Dave Chappelle. The Dave Chappelle that didn't go for anything, was aware, very smart, witty, you know, didn't play about that industry stuff. This new guy that we have in Dave Chappelle, I don't know who this guy is. You know, I don't know. You know, let's just say our theories are way off and this is not a clone and this is Dave Chappelle. Whatever the numbers, you know, work that they did on him, MK Ultra, whatever we want to call it and come up to, it is not the same Dave Chappelle. You know, even if you don't want to believe in this clone body double stuff, that is not the Dave Chappelle that we knew when he first became famous. That is not him. Something was done. It was either a swap, MK Ultra, something was done to that man. It's not the same guy. Martin is obviously not the same guy. Now, you know, back to the story, Dave Chappelle kind of put everybody on to that because unless you knew about the industry, if you knew about the inner works of all this stuff, you didn't know that story about Martin Lawrence. I didn't even know it until you started hearing, you know, the kind of truth stories about all of it. You know, I hate to call this stuff conspiracy stuff, you know, but until we started hearing people talk about it and raise questions about Hollywood, nobody knew about that. Why? Because it happened back in 1996. So this is the official, you know, article from it. And this is actually from the year 1996. It says, comic Martin Lawrence was found wandering in a busy Los Angeles street yesterday, a loaded handgun in his pocket, yelling and acting like a madman, authorities and witnesses said. The You So Crazy star was plucked from the intersection by cops, hospitalized, and released to his doctor, who said Lawrence had failed to take prescribed medication and he had suffered a seizure, according to the police. But a publicist statement issued later quoted Lawrence's doctor, William Young of Cedar-Sinai Medical Center, as saying the star was suffering from complete exhaustion and dehydration. They also said Lawrence had been admitted into a regular medical ward there in fair condition. Asked about a police statement that Lawrence had stopped taking some sort of medication, Wise said, I don't know anything about that. The body 30-year-old star Fox TV Martin quipped, I always told everybody they'd be coming for me someday, as cops were about to grab him, sources said. So just right there, we get a lot about this story. We get a lot. He said, I always told everybody they'd be coming for me someday, as the cops were about to grab him and arrest him. They also said in this little article that he was hospitalized and released to his doctor. Not released back out or whatever. He was released to his doctor, who said Lawrence had failed to take prescribed medication and had suffered a seizure. So they make it sound like the seizure is what caused him. When you have a seizure, you can't do shit. He wasn't in the middle of the street with a loaded gun talking about they gonna kill me. I knew they was gonna come for me, screaming obscenities or whatever the people around him said at that time for no reason and not taking no medication because of a seizure. That doesn't cause people to act out and be scared to death for their life. Then it says a publicist statement issued later quoted Lawrence's doctor, and the excuse was complete exhaustion and dehydration. Y'all, I ain't never been so thirsty in my life that I took my gun into the middle of the street and started saying people trying to kill me. I ain't dehydration. I'm sorry. It don't do that to you. Being exhausted, you damn sure ain't running around in the middle of the street with a gun saying, these folks in Hollywood trying to kill me. It ain't happening like that. So, this story, even though this was a very long time ago, y'all, this was 96 or 97. They had already, he'd already did Bad Boy. Martin was already deep into the industry by this time. He was like 30 years old. So he was deep into the industry. He'd already done a number of movies and shows. He was deep into it. It makes you think about, like, damn, what did they actually do to Martin, though? Like, what did they do to him? You know what I'm saying? And if you notice, I've seen interviews with him and Will Smith. Like, Martin just does not seem like he's there. When they was doing the run of the latest Bad Boy, and I was watching certain interviews, Will Smith is so deep in the industry. His soul is so gone. He has like no emotion behind it. You can tell he's completely blocked from the truth. Martin knows the truth, and he just seems so suppressed. Like, when he's beside Will Smith does all the talking. Martin don't talk that much in the interviews when they be doing the Bad Boy press run and all that good stuff. Martin don't talk that much. Now, you could say it's from 1999 when he had like a stroke or something like that in the heat, because he damn near died. Martin damn near died supposedly then in 1999. This was a few years after he had the breakdown from saying they tried to kill him. So supposedly he had a stroke, a heat stroke, trying to lose weight for a movie role, right? And back to what I was saying, and even in the Vlad TV interview, which I can't show because Vlad copyrights everything. He would literally, it don't matter. I don't even think I could just play the audio and block out the footage. But he talked to someone and they were agreeing that Martin was not the same. They weren't speaking of it as, he's cloned and shit, but the way they were talking about it, it was like, Martin seems a little slower than what he used to be, and they weren't meaning like he's dumb or something like that. It's just, it's kind of what I'm trying to tell y'all. He's just not there the way that he used to be. And mentally, you could tell, maybe it's MK Ultra, because that's what it sounds like. When he was, hospitalized and released to his doctor, it seemed like they had to program his mind back. He broke that MK Ultra, and they programmed him, basically. Electroshock, who knows what they had to do to him. But, bro, the shit is kind of scary, because it was going on back then, and they do this to keep these actors, from really breaking out and telling what's really going on. And by the time they later on down in their life, they turn out to be, kind of like how Martin is now. And a lot of people think Martin is a clone because he looks a little different, face is a lot fatter, but, I don't know. It could be a lot of sodium that makes his cheeks fat. Martin is one of those cases where if I would be like 100% sure about it, I would probably lean more toward MK Ultra than him being cloned or having a body double. But I'm not saying it's not possible that he has one, but I think Martin was under serious MK Ultra, and that's why that stuff happened back in 1996. And y'all remember what bruh man said from Martin, right? Remember, I covered it in my Bernie Mac video, but it's because he was talking about Bernie and, Tommy in the same segment. But bruh man, and first off, everybody on the Martin show, nobody got along. Short dude didn't like Martin. Martin had the whole sexual assault shit going on with Gina. Tommy and bruh man were like the only two that were cool off the show. I don't even think they got along with Martin like that, because bruh man, in that clip, he didn't talk about Martin. But remember what bruh man said. Tommy went in for knee surgery and he died in the hospital from going in for knee surgery. And bruh man was like, he went in and he got that knee surgery and You know, he was like, that seemed like something that shouldn't have happened. I don't know how that happened. That seemed like something that shouldn't have happened. That was his exact words. And he said he needed knee surgery, and he put that knee surgery off because he didn't want to go in the hospital and die his damn self. So what does that sound like? That sound like, to me, Tommy was sacrificed. I ain't, not saying that it was, Martin's sacrifice or anything, but y'all know it don't got to be anyone specific. This is just the industry and the devil collecting souls, giving up them souls, collecting, giving up souls, bro. That's all it is. You don't always got to be a person, conspiring and going up like, yo, we're finna sacrifice buddy. I'm trying to go up in the industry. It ain't always like that. These people owe souls to Satan. And that's what it is at the end of the day. And that's why sometimes these random actors and actresses be dying, in weird ass circumstances. Death is a whole mystery. The thing with Martin is kind of crazy, man, and I'll stand on it. He definitely is not the same anymore. He doesn't seem the same. He don't talk the same. In interviews, he's kind of weird, and he responded weird to what Dave Chappelle said about him when he talked about him in the middle of the street. His response was that just he was young. He was 30 years old. I guess now, considering how old he is now, he was young. But that was his response. It wasn't nothing else. He was like, I was young and, doing this and doing that. He's so trained and back, mind just so gone now. He would never talk about any of that shit on what really was happening. That's how gone he is. So that's crazy, man. To me, that's crazy, y'all. That's, as far as this right here, this video was kind of mostly just off the top, just visiting a bunch of people we think are clones and stuff. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, man. Any future videos with this topic that y'all may want me to visit. Anything I might have missed throughout all the people that we've talked about in this video so far. Y'all already know what's going on, man. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all weekend. Hope y'all enjoyed that video. And with that being said, it's Black Balloon, and I'm going to see y'all soon. I'm out.